Good morning, GBA people. This is San Jose Sharpedos bringing you guys Season 3, Week 1 of the GBA. This week, the San Jose Sharpedos traveled all the way to Atlanta to face FizzyStardust, the man, the legend, the brave birder, and his team, the Atlanta Hawlucha. Now, my format for this season will be a little different than what you may have come to expect. Instead of jumping right into the post-coms, I'll be adding an extra section to essentially break down my opponent's team, and then to kind of discuss how I assess the threats on each team's on each team. Yeah, okay. So to start off, you'll be seeing a graphic come up on your screen right about now, and you'll see all 11 of Fizzy's teams, Fizzy's Pokemon. To start off, Sylveon and Terrakion and Keldeo Magnezone, the top 4 threats that I associated with Fizzy's team. Sylveon and Terrakion I had a lot of preparation for because I had faced John with it. John had those two Mons twice last season, faced him twice, and then Season 1 I faced Moody once or twice, and she had those two Pokemon as well. These two Mons are always a threat to my team because hard fighting hits, and then Rock hurts my team, and then of course just Fairy because I have Dragon types and not very many switch-ins in terms of good resists, and so I had to prepare for those two most out of everything. And then moving on to Keldeo. Keldeo is a very strong Mon. If I don't make the right switch in when I'm trying to predict around it, it could blast one of my Mons very easily. And then finally Magnezone. Magnezone, I faced Fizzy last season, and then I also faced Cooper last season, who had Magneton. And with its steel, its magnet trapping, magnet pulling capabilities, I figured, I always have to be aware that I can't just leave Scissor in and go for a move, or even Probass if I bring it. I can't just leave it in and let it just get blasted with an HP Fire, or get Volt switched on, or whatever. Moving on to the Tier 2 threats, these were also a concern, but not as big of a concern. Gengar and Dragonite. Gengar and Dragonite, both very big threats. I treat Gengar the same way I'll treat like Keldeo and his team. Very versatile, and with Destiny Bond or whatever else, I have to just be prepared for whatever it can do. Dragonite, setup sweeper. I can't let it get over +1, otherwise I think it outpaces, most of my Scarfers. Rotom Heat, again, I've faced this many times right in the GBA. It's good on some teams, and it's very situational. Especially like if I still has Charizard Y, for example. But it's still something to be prepared for. And something that, I had to look at and really consider if he did bring it, how would I prepare for it? Not getting burned by it, Volt switched, overheated, whatever. And then finally, Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados was kind of up there in between a Tier 1 and Tier 2 threat because Mega Gyarados, with its bulk and with the before it evolves, or not evolves, Mega evolves, just it's bulky and it can take hits, and I have a fair amount of physical sweepers. So I was kind of moved up just below the top line there. I couldn't let it get set up, and I had to prepare for it just to ensure that I can have good switches into it, and then handle it accordingly. And then finally, bottom 3 were, I shouldn't say bottom 3, because in hindsight I could see how these 3 Mons would also be very important for Fizzy's team. Bronzong, Reuniclus, and Virizion. Bronzong and Reuniclus definitely help out Fizzy's team in terms of he has a lot of Psychic Weak Mons, being Gengar, Keldeo, Terrakion, and then even Sylveon wouldn't appreciate a Psyshock if it wasn't invested in defense, but this is the GBA, so of course it's invested in defense. Bronzong is just bulky and annoying, and then Reuniclus is very good, especially if it's like a Magic Guard, Life Orbs attacker, or Regenerator if you go about that route. And yeah, it's just very bulky. And then finally Virizion. I didn't expect Virizion to be brought. Same with Rotom Heat. Like those two Mons, I crossed off almost instantly, just because I think with their typing and then with my team, it's kind of a difficult Mon to incorporate into a team structure. But hey, who knows? So we're gonna move into the battle now, and I will be starting the video in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so looking at team preview, you'll see that, I pretty much assessed his team, the top four threats, three of the four are there, sans Keldeo. He had brought two of the lower tier threats, being Reuniclus and Bronzong, and yeah, and then Mega Gyarados, of course. My team is, I actually have three Scarfers in this team, being Scizor, Latias, and Staraptor. And then physically defensive Clefable, Sashazam, and special defensive Venusaur. So, we start off. He loses Bronzong. I lose Staraptor. I thought Staraptor would be good in terms of, well, in turn being U-turn. I just figured, having U-turn and just keep being able to just U-turn and keep matchup in my favor would be really, really good for me. U-turn into Scizor. I expected the Brocs to go up, and there they are. But that's one thing Bronzong's really good at, being rocks and then screens. I was really fearing the screens here, and then even the T-Wave. I don't know if Bronzong gets T-Wave, but for some reason during the battle I really thought that it did. So he switches out. I'm probably just going to go for the U-turn here. He goes into Gyarados, using Gyarados in a way that is very smart. The Intimidate on Gyarados is certainly a huge perk of using Mega Gyarados, because, you can come in on and just be a wall and not take that much damage, and then on the same token you can get that Intimidate off, and then set up without much of as big of a threat against you. So going to Clefable, this thing is physical defensive. I was really banking on him to Mega Evolve right here, but I figure if he did, that'd be very early, and we're only in like turn 3 right now. So he switches out into Magnezone. I just go for the safe Moonblast, just in case he did Mega Evolve. Again, there was no reason for him to do so, but I thought if he did, just Moonblast would be the best move. I also pack Flamethrower on this, which you'll see later in the match. But he goes into Magnezone, and I think I switch on to Mega Venusaur here, solely because I don't want to take a Flash Cannon, whether this was Scarf or Specs. I was preparing going into this battle for him to be Specs, or not Specs, Scarfed, but just to outpace Mega Scizor. I was treating Magnezone like I was treating Magneton, being a Scarfer rather than just a Spexer. So he goes, he Volt Switched, which, again, right now in the battle, nothing is too shocking with the electric type. Nothing, I kind of know what's going to happen. It's just, I'm just kind of feeling out the battle. So switch out into Latias on Reuniclus, switch in, and he goes for Shadow Ball. A good play. He didn't lose anything by going for it, and I think Latias was kind of an obvious play here. But Latias I had brought in right here, specifically go for Defrog. The rocks are kind of not pressuring. Well, of course they pressure my team because I have two birds. I have a bird and a bug, and then Latias and even Clefable and Mega Venusaur. I don't want to keep switching in and out to rocks, just based on matchups, of course. So I go into Venusaur, and I haven't Mega Evolved yet, so this HP Fire is going to do a little more than I'd liked, but I'm in for free, and then he's going to withdraw because clearly he doesn't want to take a Sludge Bomb. I'm going to go for the Mega Evolve right now. Probably just go right for the Synthesis or go for the Leech Seed. Now, when I clicked Leech Seed, I thought, shit, what if his Reuniclus is Magic Guard? And upon doing so, I figured, well, if it is Magic Guard, I'll see it right here, and then I'll be able to know what to do from here. So I go for Synthesis just to get all my HP back. I figured the way that this battle turning out already is for Fizzy. Reuniclus is going to be the switch on Mega Venusaur. Magnezone is going to be the switch in for Clefable, and then Gyarados is going to be a switch in for Scizor. So I gotta keep the favorable matchups. Also, Bronzong is going to switch in for Fizzy on this point. So I go for U-turn again, just to try and keep the matchups all in my favor. This Bronzong, I wasn't necessarily concerned for it at first, but he had only gone for rocks and had leftovers, and I was just unsure as to what to really prepare, what its other moves were. Of course, Goes into Sylveon, a special wall. This thing has to be special with enough physical investment to take shadow balls like this. Because when I go for the shadow ball, that does nothing. So I know, like he has all these favorable switch-ins with, I guess, Terrakion in the back just to be a sweeper, and then even Mega Gyarados, saying that my walls are dead. When my walls go and he gets like one DD up, basically I'm kind of up Shit's Creek without a paddle. So he pulls a double. We pull a double here, and this double, I guess he was projecting me to go into Scissored, and then this was his means of locking, trapping Scissor. But I went into Venusaur instead. Kind of a stupid. Yeah. This game turns out to just be a lot of switching in and switching out, and basically it's going to be a lot of chip damage for about 3/4 of this match, and then it really rolls up towards the end. But I go for Leech Seed, and I get the HP back, so I figure at this point it's Magic Guard, or it's Regenerator. Not Magic Guard, it's Regenerator, or it's Overcoat. And then after I think about Overcoat, I'm like, that actually makes sense, because if this is a Psychic type switching into a Poison type, that would make sense, because then he wouldn't be affected by the Sleep Powder. So I go to Clefable. Clefable would have been a better switch in than Latios, but I need that defog off. And having Reuniclus in just go for Shadow Balls, it did about half to Latios, so I had about 2 more switches left in to go for defog, and if rocks were down, then I got it. But I go for, I don't know what I went for there. I'm probably gonna go for Moonblast again. I don't know why. I was thinking here. I was like, he's gonna switch into a Steel type. I should go for Flamethrower, but I didn't. That was just a poor play on my end. At this point, I'm just trying to get chip damage off on this Bronzong. I figure if I chip it down far enough, I could knock it out with something else. And then he goes for Protect. This Protect, I guess, was just a scout for the Flamethrower. It was a smart Protect. I just hope that didn't become a trend of him just protecting on moves to get a sliver of HP back. Go for Flamethrower, does a hell of a lot of damage, but then he whips out the Heavy Slam, and this does more than my expected damage. What the fuck? Later in the match, after the match, he had told me this is a Heavy Metal, Heavy Slam, Bronzong. And I was just blown away. Wow, I didn't expect that at all. This Protect was wasting my time. I can see why you want Leftovers back, but on the same token, like, you could have just killed me and not... Whatever. You're giving me Leftovers back. But Heavy Slam, Heavy Metal, Bronzong, wow, I didn't see that coming, and it was certainly a good tech by Fizzy here. I think I should have I should have predicted this. Went for a Wish at least, instead of just Flamethrower. I think at this point I was kind of just like seeing red. I was like, I just want to kill this Bronzong, because I think that Heavy Slam, after he had shown that, put a lot of pressure on my switch-ins, because Heavy Slam is not Gyro Ball, and I'm not really worried about Gyro Ball, because most of my team isn't really that fast. I mean, even like Scissor and Staraptor obviously is not going to want to take a Heavy Slam, and neither is Latias, but most of my other team is slow, whether it's Mega Venusaur, Fable, but... So he goes for a Wish, and right as he does this, I know exactly what he's going to do with this Wish. He's going to pass it off to Bronzong, because I cannot touch Bronzong with this Mega Venusaur. This Mega Venusaur is Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain. Said this isn't Leech Seed. Probably should have teched out Giga Drain for HP Fire. But I was way too paranoid about Keldeo, so that's what this Mega Venusaur was kind of made to handle as well. But the Wish comes back to the Bronzong, and it's back to full HP. Just the Leech Seed is nice, just that small little chip away. This, like I said, this match is just chip away. But my main objective here is to attempt to break down this Bronzong back to where it was. Double comes in, switching to Scissor, he switches into Reuniclus. Kind of not jump the gun, but I put myself in a favorable position here. so that I could do something like U-turn out or even knock off. But I was just so afraid that he was gonna go right into Magnezone and trap me. If I went for knockoff, I wouldn't have been able to escape because obviously I didn't go for U-turn. Um, and and then of course Gyarados. I can't knock off a Gyarados on a Mega Gyarados. So knockoff there was so many times that I could have just went for a not U-turn, but with Gyarados not being Mega Evolved yet, I couldn't necessarily go for anything that wasn't U-turn. And right here, I was like, I need to go for something that's not U-turn, and I just go for Brave Bird. Uh, that was done. Oh no, that doesn't happen yet. Go for U-turn. Get damage off this Bronzong. That's kind of a giant pain in my ass. But I go back into Scissor, and he puts up rocks. I think this turn. Um, so I had to. I was predicting rocks here, but also. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait, goes for protect again. This protect I thought was a little necessary. I think he could have just went and did a move or went for Stealth Rock because at this point we're 11 minutes into this battle, but in real time the battle's probably pacing out to about, I don't know, we have 25 minutes left or so. But I go for U-turn and then he gets rocks up here. I was so afraid that he had something like T-Wave or Toxic, or well, not Toxic because I have switches in for that, and Heal Bell as well in Clefable. But he goes Stealth Rock again. Now this means this obviously puts pressure again on my switch-ins because this kind of lessens my capability of U-turning as freely as I have been, which means I have to get Latias in. So he goes for protect again. This is, I'm going to go back to what I just said. This was unnecessary. Getting leftovers back is important and all, but yeah. I guess the reason I'm explaining that is because in game time, like I said, we're pacing down. We're below 30 minutes at this point, and going for protect took them like a while to click protect. Then protect happened, and then in the next turn, obviously there's a delay between like us picking moves and thinking about what we're really going to do. So just the protects kind of built up to a lot of. It was just a little. It was time consuming, and I was worried about the timeout that was going to happen. That was kind of impending in my mind at this point. But he goes for Volt Switch like I expected, and I think I go for the double Leech Seed here, because I figure he's going to come in with Reuniclus, or he's going to come in with Sylveon, or he's going to come in with something. Go for Leech Seed again, and, this is just, like I said, this is all chip damage on my end, because we've only been switching in to, at least he's been switching in solely to his walls. I've been switching into a mix of my walls, and, maybe once Alakazam and a few times Thraptor or Scissor. Here, I probably should have switched into Latias, because I think the Psychic was a little obvious versus going for Scissor. I'm trying to get offensive pressure in a way with still taking rocks damage was not smart. If the way that this turn should have turned out for me is I should have switched into Latias, could have taken one Shadow Ball, defogged, and then could have still had Latias around, whether it was for Death Fodder or it was for just like one last move, whether it was just a last shot Draco, Scarf Draco, last shot Psyshock, or even I also had Healing Wish on that Latias, so I figured it was, and then also the Leech Seed could have helped me survive. If he put rocks up again, I could have survived a rock switch in. So that right there was a bad play on my end. I definitely should have went into Latias versus going into Scissor. And then he switches right into Gyarados, what he's been doing this entire match. And go into Staraptor. At this point now, I'm thinking Brave Bird. I was thinking, alright, I can go for Brave Bird and maybe blast this Gyarados down to where it dies. But why did I think he would switch in when he has two Steel types? It was foolish. It was foolish, Tom. It was foolish. Showing for U-turn again. Go for Brave Bird. Just, I think, because I was facing the Brave Bird man himself, I just really wanted to go for Brave Bird. So, I switch out here, and I remember this. He goes for Protect. Probably see if I'll go for it again. Or to see at least, to see if I was Scarfed. That makes sense. So I go into Scissor again. I take Rocks damage. This was not a smart play. Probably should have went to Latias, because I didn't see much that this Bronzong can do. But then it goes for... Take a drink of my water. Goes for Protect again. This one right here I felt was unnecessary, entirely unnecessary, because now at this point, the battle is at 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes, but we're down to 10 minutes here or so, and this is at this point I'm definitely being considered that. Well, yeah, okay, I got a crit. That's the only crit I think I've gotten all game. And at this point, this was a dumb play. This was a dumb play. This was a stupid play. This was a stupid play. This cost me my Latias, and this is where I really started to consider like we might time out, and I'm going to lose because I lost Latias. Well, actually, I thought I was going to lose already before that because his Terrakion is still a full HP, his Gyarados is basically a full HP, Magnezone barely has a quarter chipped out of it, and Sylveon has barely even been touched because it went for Wish and leftovers and all that. So I let Latias die like a moron. Go me. And he goes Protect again. This definitely was up there with being, unnecessary. This, like I said, the timer was ticking down, ticking down, ticking down. And in my mind, yeah, okay, you got leftovers back. But on the same token, we have to get the game going. And, going for Protect on turns like that, just you let something just let Bronzer take the hit, but don't keep going for Protect when we have such little time left. Going into this here was a bad move. Even I think if he did go for went for Heavy Slam. Saw that coming. So I thought if I went to Clefable it would die. If I went to Staraptor it would probably die. But here he goes for Protect again, or he switches out. No, goes for Protect. So that's like the marquee of this match. It's Protect, and it was just a lot to kind of sit there through, and goes for Leech Seed, and I think here it just goes for Heavy Slam. It doesn't do a lot, mostly because we're both big fat mons. I should have. Now he's gonna switch here. And this Bronzong is finally down to low HP that I think anything could really knock it out, because I have Staraptor and Scizor and Alakazam left. I thought at this point, Bronzong, I should have went for a double seed here versus going for Synthesis, but I thought both of which were decent plays. Actually, no, I just go for Giga Drain. Oh, okay. Again, I was seeing red at this point. I was just like, I just want something to die. So I go for Giga Drain, and I get back more HP. I figured Reuniclus was coming in anyway. I think if earlier in the match, because this is all in hindsight, this is all me looking back, I think if I had went for Giga Drains versus just going for seeds on Reuniclus, as I know it's going to come in, I think I'd been in a little bit better position. Also, the rock damage on Clefable shows that it is indeed unaware. But he goes for Recover, so whatever. It was a free switch in for Clefable. I don't think I go for Moonblast here. Probably should have, though. I didn't go for Wish here. I think that was dumb. So, I did go for Wish here. And then he goes for Psychic. And he gets crit. Spoilers. That sucked, because I could have lived that. But he critted me, and that kind of pissed me off. So now, if you haven't counted, I'm down 6-4, with a Scizor at 18 HP left. Oh boy. So I just go straight for knockoff. I'm like, this thing cannot have leftovers. I thought maybe it would kill, but of course, Reuniclus is too bulky. He goes for Psychic, he knocks me out. Now I'm down 3-6. And at this point, I'm really starting to get worried. I was like, I could either get 6-0'd here if it brings in Terrakion, or we can go for timeout, and I could be, losing 6-2 or 5-2 and have to dig myself out of a hole as the weeks because we only have 12 weeks, not 16 weeks this season. So it's a little bit a tighter window to bring yourself back from the depths of a bad differential and a losing streak, and go for Shadow Ball. Okay, I get a crit. Okay, I got 2 crits. 2 crits! Sharpedo luck is not with me today. Go for Side Shock. I figured this would just do damage. Just good enough damage to see how much. And he goes for Wish. And I figure Protect is coming here from Sylveon, just to preserve its life lead. Now, we're pushing 25 minutes in this video, and this battle's at 19:30. Right now, we have sands of 6. We have less than 6 minutes left in this battle. And like I said, I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm so unsure as to if, I know we're going to time out this point because it's just, he has far too many Pokemons left for me to deal with. He goes to the Magnezone, gets the Wish back. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a successful Wish passing scheme going on in battle. I was fearing Scarf Magnezone here, so I didn't stay in, even though I should have and I could have. But I go into Mega Venusaur and I just go, I think at this point I just go for Giga Drain, just to get, because I know he's going to Volt Switch out. I know he's going to go into Uniclus. That's all that Magnezone's been doing all this game. And I go into Uniclus and I just go for Giga Drain. I'm just like, fuck it, Giga Drain. I know I outpace you because you are slow as shit. You're like base 20. Go for Giga Drain, getting HP back. And I know I outpace you, so I figure right here, I can kind of give myself some. Oh, okay, I guess he outpaces me, but I can figure I can live some Spadef, and then I can just go right for Giga Drain and get some HP back, and be down 2 or 3-5 or 2-5, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna time out at this point. There's no fucking way we're not timing out at this point. And this is the only second timeout that's ever happened in the GBA. Goes into Terrakion, and I know that I cannot switch anything into this, and Stone Edge is his best play. Goes for Stone Edge, knocks me out. I was kind of hoping for the miss, but I'm not Steve, and I'm not going to just hope for a miss or any kind of hacks on anyone's going Alakazam, and I figure he thought this was a Life Orb Zam, but I like the Revenge Killer set with the Sash, so I just go right here, I go for Psyshock, and I figure anything he brings in, we'll get blasted, we'll get hit with something, and then die to something else, because that's what Alakazam does. Obviously, Psyshock does nothing to a Psychic Steel type, and this Bronzong is clearly physically defensive. Just go for Shadow Ball and knock it out. Now I'm only down 3-4. So then he goes into, I think here goes into Magnezone. I'm down 2-4. Goes into Magnezone, and I'm just like, ooh, yes, Focus Blast. Just hit. Just please hit. Thank God it hits. So I'm down 2-3. And right here, we time out. This is right as I kill Magnezone. The clock hits 0, and all he has to do is switch into Pokemon. That's it. Game's over. Fizzy won 3-2. Overall, I lost. But the battle itself, it kind of showed that Fizzy's team got a lot better. I thought that my team got a lot better. I think I have more balance on my team. And then I also think that him and our teams are very good at handling whatever we need to. I think that Kieran Black would have been a better Mon to bring instead of Staraptor. Only having one defogger and then also only having having it be weak to rocks, and I don't know. It's a lot of hindsight and 50. Just looking back at the match, it was a good match though. I wish I understand why Fizzy had gone for all those protects, but a lot of them were, in my mind, were very very unnecessary and just kind of didn't need to happen on some of them, because you were getting leftovers back, but you were also just running down the clock a minute, 2 minutes at a time. But that's just me. Hope you guys enjoyed Sharpedos 0 and 1. I figured I'd try and do this narration without sounding super salty, and at least giving it a decent enough narration that it warrants a good upload. So we'll bounce back next week. We travel. Actually, no. The Cleveland Cavaliers come to us, and that should be a much better matchup in my favor, and I will certainly prepare for that, as I do every single week. Thanks for watching, guys, and look out for a Wi-Fi battle on Wednesday, because I have some Wi-Fi battles stocked up. Alright, guys. Peace.